Okay, this is week 11 and this is for my PLC class using the function chart approach to implement the program for the following station that places a barcode label on a screwdriver. So we have here figure 6.3 and it's supposed to, upon initial startup, assuming that there are no carriers with screwdrivers in the station, the initial states of the main and mechanical controls are catch mechanism retracted, rotate head up, and ram retracted. So the following steps are executed just right here. Step 1 mentions to rotate the label take-up reel until the label is in position, which is sensed by Prox 362, and the catch cylinder must also be extended during the rotation, which is going to be in the same step for my step 1. So if we can go to step 1 here, we're going to set step 1, turn that on to true. So you can see step 1 is active. Now going from PX32 to be true, that will set us to step 2. Turning on our PX362, we are going to get set to step 2, just right here. Okay, now that we are in step 2, we must wait for the next carrier. When a carrier has been captured, PX361 will be sensed, so then we can turn that on. Sorry, there's a bunch of variables going on. So now that we are on step 3, we must lower the rotate head into position, which CY364 RLS senses as the head is lowered. It engages the top of the screwdriver. So now we just need to set this to true, and then we will be on step 4. So we will turn this to RLS. Let's see right here. Going on a line. Now we're in step 4. So now we must extend the label cylinder to move back the labels into contact with a screwdriver shaft, which CY364 ELS is sensed, as we can see right here. So then we're just kind of like going down the line. Now we are on step 5. As step 5 says to activate the motor on the rotate head to rotate the screwdriver so that the label is wrapped around the screwdriver shaft. The action also pulls the labels such as PX362 right here is turned off. As you can see, we have here it is normally closed. That's the negation through it. And then so we have our PX32 can turn on, and then we will be able to move past. So we are going to go, we're going to turn this to false, and that'll let us go through. As we are now on step 6, because PX362 we set to false as it was asked. So step 6 mentions to retract the labeled cylinder to pull the label tape away from the screwdriver, which CY364 RLS is sensed. Simultaneously raise the rotate head, CY368 ELS. Do not advance to the next steps until both of these movements are finished. So if we have here CY364 RLS, we need to set that to false. And once we set that to false, we should be able to go to step 7 for a 2-second delay, and it'll shoot us back to the top, back to step 1, as we have here mentioned. So let's set this to false. And now they're on step 7 for 2 seconds, and now we are back to step 1. So these are my steps I have taken for the ladder logic on 6.3. And these are my actions here. As you can see, we go from actions 1 has for M365 run and CY363 extend, and we don't have 2 and 3 because they didn't have any actions on our sequential chart. So on step 4, step 5, step 6, we have CY364 extend, M366 run, and CY368 retract and extend, as these are our actions on the coils. Now we are diving into our complex reset now, as we had our actions on the outputs. Now we have our start, stop, and run reset as it was initiated, and we have our RS1 and RS2, which RS1 is the rotate head to rise cylinder extend, and the transition for that is CY368 extend. In our RS2 we had the label cylinder retract, which was transitioned by CY368 retract. So we have here kind of the same layout as above. We have our step transition, and we have our get going to reset 1 to reset 2. Then we have again our step transition, and with just resets 2, and then we have our own separate reset right here for steps 1 through 7. And we have our actions hooked up, as well as going from step 1 all the way to step 5, step 4, and step 6. Like I said earlier, step 2 and 3 did not have an action, so these are our outputs over here, and our transitions right here are inputs. So that is my ladder diagram, and I have better visualization on my snippets on the document. Thank you.